hope this letter finds you well, Father. I know a fair few of these will get to you all at once, but I want to make sure I keep writing to you every chance I get. It was with heavy hearts that we ended up heading back to Otari to inform Yasmara of the fate of one of her men, Bad Leroy Brown. She offered us the services of one of the surviving members, and we decided on Shad because he had a few skills that the three of us were lacking. After that, it was back to the Fog Fen, where Shad immediately enforced his value by discovering us a secret room. And after that discovery, we decided to continue clearing up the remaining rooms and happen on some more Morlocks who were tinkering with these odd-looking mechanisms. Shad immediately managed to take one down before a frenzy could erupt in the small workshop. Quickly, the Morlocks turned to flee into an empty throne room where we pursued them to finish the conflict. It was in one of those rooms that we found a necromantic spiral again. And Aurori helped me. I just had to put my hand in. Oh, looks like we're back to it, Father. I'll write again soon.
You guys have, what do you call them? Modes of transportation?
Yes.
I've been known to perambulate.
You ever name such a thing? You have a car. Do you, Scott? You ever give your car a name?
I have a car, yes, which does not have a name, but my high school and after car had a name. I mean, I guess not a name. It had like nicknames. Like it was a Volkswagen Rabbit, 1984, cashmere white, real nice gem, blue interior. And I'm trying to remember, like, I think that the Rabido was a big one. Shout out Steph Kwan. She named it that, and we just call it that all.
She called it what?
The Rabido.
The Rabido? What's a Rabido?
I don't know. It was a rabbit, and then she's called it the Rabido.
Oh.
But like, so I think there was other ones, but that nothing too crazy. I had friends who had cars like, I don't know, the Brick was my buddy's high school red Volvo that just looked like a brick, and it was like 7 different shades of red. But yeah, I never had a car named like, I don't know, Tiffany. Oh, we did an RV trip or a camper van trip this year to Banff and through the Kootenays, and we called the Pleasure Way, which is what the van is actually called. We called it Pamela.
Pamela Pleasure Way.
Pamela did real nice for us.
Oh my God. Let's not go down that sinkhole.
That's what they also called it.
What about you, Duncan? You have a car, don't you?
Yeah, so I've always gone with, our license plate conventions are like 3 letters and then 3 numbers. So I'd always try to like take the 3 letters of the license plate and turn it into a name. So right now it's JKE, and I call the car Jackie.
Oh, that works.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work when you get like X's and Q's in there and stuff. But
okay, well maybe my license plate is WWP.
Ooh,
that's not a very good one either.
Walter White pitches. That's all I got.
Should have kept it to yourself, bro.
You should know me by now. I don't do that.
Our editor sure knows.
Yeah, that's staying in, but just so you guys know what I have to deal with.
That's a fun little way to go about it. Yeah. James, have you ever owned a car? I know you have a bicycle.
So I've never owned a car, but I've owned 2 motorcycles. And my first motorcycle I did name. I named it Betsy after Elizabeth Braddock, the X-Men.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was silver and like light blue, which was the same colors as as Psylocke's second costume after she was transported into the ninja body.
Oh man, I don't know how. I have no idea how we always manage to bring up something that you can connect to like some subtle, obscure info about X-Men and comic books. Like, what? Well, how did Psylocke come into this? I'm asking you about how you named your modes of transportation and Psylocke's in there.
Because we're a bunch of fucking nerds.
I just started reading the X-Men in the 200s, and I really got into Psylocke until she became a ninja. And then things got weird for me because I really liked her as the daughter of Captain Britain. So... There it is.
Man, there are some nerds listening to this going, yeah, James, yeah, fuck yeah. You know?
God, I hope
and the rest are going, what
There's
the fuck
also
is he
going to be some nerds that are like, whatever, man, that costume sucked.
Yeah. For everybody who wants to know what I'm talking about, it was a 1986 450 Honda Hawk, and that thing just flew. It weighed about 450 pounds, but if you dropped it into second and lifted that clutch, it was catwalking for about 10 feet before it put the front wheel down.
Nice.
So they're a little something for the gearheads, a little something for the nerds.
Nice.
A gearhead's just another type of nerd, isn't it?
Yeah, everybody's a nerd. You just have to pick what you're being a nerd about.
Mm-hmm.
I've never owned a car because I've never driven a car in my entire life.
You've never driven a car?
I'm not an adult. I've never driven a car. I've never had my license permit.
But not even like you've never driven your friend's car?
I think one time, I have this vague memory of one time I might have backed my friend's car out of my mom's driveway. But that's it.
Well, good thing we're a pretty small country that wouldn't never necessitate driving a car.
Yeah. I live a very, very don't leave my neighborhood kind of life.
In high school, you were just never like, hey man, can I drive your car?
No.
You're so metropolitan, Freeman.
No. I've had very little interest in it most of my life. I only have a little more interest in it now for the possibility of like job opportunities, you know. I actually ended up turning down before the pandemic a couple of pretty good potential beer repping opportunities. Could have put my beer snobbery to better use, but I don't have my license, so I couldn't take them.
You know, that's something you can just go out and get, right? Like it's not challenging.
I have been thinking about it for a while. But what's more important, the subject at hand, is I do have a bicycle, and boy, does it have a name, and it's the greatest name of all time. It's called Chumbawamba.
Oh boy! Actually,
after the band,
yeah,
it would be weird if there was another Chumbawamba.
Do you actually love Chumbawamba?
I actually love Chumbawamba. Chumbawamba is a in North America one-hit wonder, but they have an awesome repertoire of music, like folk, anti-establishment folk music. So good. They are an awesome group.
For people like me, what is that one-hit wonder? Because I know the name, but I only know
get
the
knocked
joke.
down,
Yeah,
but I get back again.
But I get up again. You ain't never gonna get me down. Yeah.
Okay.
Which
I
is
thought
like
that was Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray.
Oh boy.
That's what you should name your bicycle.
They have
Sugar
one
Ray.
other big one, I think.
I'm good. I'm an adult. I don't need to name my modes of transportation. If I was, my feet would be at the top of the list because I use them more than anything.
one of my good friends has had several vehicles, and we have named all of them for him. A number of which I will not say on air or on record. But there was one where he had a Mazda hatchback or something, and I don't ask me why. I used to kind of jokingly bully him like I do Scott into doing really strange things. And one time a Whopper, a Burger King Whopper, was left in the car overnight by mistake, and I made him keep it in the car. I was like, no, you can't remove that. You can't remove that from the car. And then from that day forward, the car was called the Mazda Burger.
How long was the Whopper in there for?
Couple weeks.
Gross.
Yeah.
I got some hygienic issues with this story.
Yeah. No, it's
You nasty
really
as hell.
dumb. I don't know how and why I managed to get him to do it, but there it was. And Mazda Burger has gone down in our personal history. It's such a stupid
All right,
thing.
so we've learned two things. One, Freeman and his friends are gross. Two, Freeman's always been a bully.
And 3, We already knew it, but his music taste is highly questionable.
Whoa. Chumbawamba is awesome. I will send you songs.
I do really like the idea of all three of us teaching you how to drive, though, all at the same time. You're behind the wheel, and three of us are just giving you shit the whole time.
I couldn't handle it. I could never teach you how to drive.
No, I would never in a million years ask James to do that.
I just think it would be a funny piece of content.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Let's start our own reality TV show. Teaching Freeman to drive.
Teaching Freeman how to be a human?
Yeah.
And how long do you keep the cheeseburgers in your car, Freeman? No, not a week.
At least that's always a minimum, 1 week.
That's so gross.
Once it's cold, you throw it out. Speaking of cold things, this worm is dead and has been in this room for multiple weeks.
Let's ask Chad if its corpse is cold.
Such a weak segue.
That worm is as desiccated as a week-old burger in a car.
You need to stop listening to me for segues. Okay, I'm not a good example, Scott.
Yeah.
I know. I just wanted to throw my hat in the ring, and I performed poorly too.
Holy shit!
Speaking of things that have been waiting in rooms for a long time,
there you go. See, there's the segue.
Speaking of other things that can't drive,
you know what? You know what I've learned is that if you say a shit segue and give James a second, he'll find a good one and slip it in after.
But then they both make the edit.
Yeah, they have to. Otherwise, it's just like a hot second of like dead air while I consider. Will I try and find our way in?
Well, I mean, we left on a questionable action by Shad. I don't know how you guys felt about that, but I went for it.
Grossed out, mostly.
And he shoved his hand into the desiccated corpse of this massive purple worm.
Why is everyone just sticking their hands in things?
It's gotta feel your way around, man. Just gotta get in there and see what's up. It's not a big deal. He's got gloves on. Well,
full disclosure, it was going to be a save, and my saves are all pretty high across the board, so I wasn't terribly worried about it. Why he just punched his hole into a worm and like it's rooting around in its corpse is beyond me. I'm gonna just chalk it up to him being a gross scoundrel.
He's just gross.
He just likes things, and there was things in there.
Yeah, he saw like an opening, a decayed opening, and saw something inside, and went in to grab it and pull it. And
that justification doesn't make his actions any better.
I'm not saying it's delicious. I'm not saying it's delicious like a 2-week-old burger in a Mazda, but
5 to 1 odds he comes out with a wishbone.
And also, I like how you said he was wearing gloves, but his gloves are fingerless.
Purple worm.
His gloves are fingerless.
No, what he does pull out,
dirty fingers.
What he does pull out is the better portion of a skeleton,
like a human skeleton.
It's a little
Humanoid?
more squat than a human.
Okay,
it's not the noid. No,
I think humanoid.
Oh,
that would be an ambitious crossover project with our new sponsor, Domino's.
Someone roll me a nature check for a quick glance at the skeleton.
How y'all on nature?
I have 0. Also,
bad.
Domino's slide into our DMs if you want to get involved.
I have 0 in nature, but I will roll an aid check for my cooperative nature, which is a fail.
I got 6, so I might as well try it.
Can I join past?
Yeah, might as well.
Maisel.
What about Shad? What's his nature?
I do not.
What is Shad's nature?
Shad's is he does not have.
Okay. Who's going to control Shad this time around?
You want him this week,
take
Duncan?
on the responsibility?
Yeah, I can take him.
Nice.
Okay, nature. That's a 22.
Ooh.
This is clearly the structure of a dwarven-like creature. And you would assume perhaps even further that it might be of a Duragar, which are Darklands dwarves that live deep beneath the earth.
Okay, is it just a bare skeleton, or is there any like clothing or equipment on him?
No clothing, but there is tied up into the bones a +1 warhammer. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Point of order, there would have to be some musculature on there. Otherwise, he's just pulling it out one bone at a time.
I was thinking the same thing.
Which is also a fun image.
It's not, isn't it? That's like a too technical here.
Yeah. Little known fact about dwarf skeletons, it's all just one big bone.
Oh, jeez. I could just feel the imagery just be conjured up this whole episode now. It's going to be bad. It's so bad.
Oh, that's a good find that you have there. If you can't use it, I'll carry it in the bag of holding. Could fetch a pretty penny back on the market.
I'm afraid it's beyond my expertise.
What's it worth?
35 GP.
Not bad.
So I'll sell at half price, but
yeah.
the rune on it again is valuable. You could always have that transferred. Also, still something Lady Gilda could pull out if need
money,
be.
money.
I don't know.
Yeah, I like the retribution axe for her at this point, but it's an option, and options are good.
I don't know what kind of traits it has attached to off the top of my head. I'm not sure where your bag of holding. Oh, there it is. It has the shove trait, so normally you would need a free hand to shove, and this would allow you to do it without needing that.
It's like cross-check in lacrosse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the reference that everyone's going to relate to.
Canada's national sport, surprisingly. Lacrosse.
The summer sport, or national winter sports hockey.
Yeah.
It's curling, bud. Get out of here.
I mean, I'm just talking about official stuff. I'm not talking about the actual best sport ever. Curling.
I think our official winter sport is curling, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's not, but, let's just let the internet find out for us. And listeners, let us know in the chat.
Sound off in the Discord if you like sports ball.
Sports
ball. Public Discord, sports ball channel. Go for it. That literally exists, guys. Go for it. You'll never see me in there other than make fun of sports, but that's okay.
It's mostly just me dropping one-liners and then shit getting out of control.
That's true.
I think the Panthers are going to make the cup this year, and then nothing about that sentence.
And then everyone just goes, rawr.
Ever again. Yeah.
Hey, man, we talk hockey on there sometimes. All right, you guys. Speaking of pucks, let's get the puck out of here.
Is there a satyr in this room?
What's that?
Yeah.
I said, is there a satyr in this room?
No.
Digging a hole here, boys.
No. Move on. I'm over it.
That was a great cut, and you're all wrong for not getting it, except for Duncan. Gilda will crack the door to the east, leading further into a hallway where there should be a secret door to the north, but apparently is no longer there.
No, so you guys came around this way before, so you're now treading on territory you've been through. However, Lady Gilda, what are you doing as you're walking through these hallways you've already explored?
Oh, she's defending, 100%.
Defending, okay. What's everyone else doing?
Avoid notice.
Yep. Avoid notices all around.
Okay. So you step into this really tight hallway. There's a little empty alcove to the south, and the old secret door to the north, and which leads into an old torture chamber or punishment room or some such. You've explored all through this before. It's just a whole bunch of debris and old tools and stuff, old chains and manacles, rusted and no longer of use.
Punish me so good.
I'm just asking because I don't see it on the map, but is there a door here, like the one that we initially came through?
Yes, there is.
Okay. So she will step into that torture room where they had some issues early on, just after the giant skeleton fight, and she'll begin heading to the east, back out into the grand hallway.
Big old processional. Right? You're just south of the bathroom with the glowing green light.
But that's no longer there, correct?
No, it is. It is there again.
Oh.
It's returned.
Oh, it's reset. Tulok turns to Lady Gilda and says, Lady Gilda, hold on. And walks into the bathroom.
And the exact same thing happens again. The glowing energies form words on the wall. I was Otari. Save me below. And it follows the same path as before, out the door and down the hallway to the east.
Let me stop you. So, it's like a the glow moves?
Yeah, like there's like glowing green energies, and then they slide onto the wall and form words, and then slide off the wall, and this like glowing green like energy just moves out of the room and down the hallway to the east.
Okay. Damn. Okay, never mind. Soon enough, I will potentially be able to... I get Graves' voice at my next level of Ghost Hunter, but I do not have it yet.
Oh,
so.
Okay.
I am so excited for next level, man.
Can I use Spirit Lore to see if I can figure something out about this thing? Like, why it came back, how often it resets, if...
Yeah.
I don't know, just any information.
Yeah, roll me a Spirit Lore.
24.
You would assume that this is connected to how ghosts work, in that unless certain parameters are met, they don't leave, or they are bound to a site, or something is in a constant repetition.
So is it the true spirit of Otari?
Maybe. You think. You still don't know, but the fact that it's reset, the fact that it's repeated itself, gives you that indication. Like, ghosts, unless there's a certain thing that always holds them there, and that's specifically to ghosts, and that needs to be overcome for them to be put at rest.
Got it.
So you don't know if this is a MacGuffin or something to distract you, but that repetition makes you think of ghostly creations, if you will.
Tulok turns to Shad and says, Shad, did you see this on your first time through here?
We didn't come down this hallway, to be honest. The Morlocks seemed to think that there was something special down here, but they dared not tread. They feared this direction of the processional, I'm afraid. I think they believed it attached to their ghost queen, whatever that means. But did not speak their tongue, only picked up on certain signs, and when you described the ghost queen to me, I put that together.
Interesting.
So, grain of salt, if you will.
Seems a lot to pick up from gibberish. You're quite intelligent, Shad.
Well, I do have a +2 bonus.
What the hell is that?
It's called a fourth wall, and when you scale it and get over physic, the world opens up to you.
Well, he's smarter than me.
Yes.
And by me, I mean Tulok.
But I severely lack your charismatic appeal, Sage Tulok.
Tulok winks and then looks at Lady Gilda.
Is there something wrong with your eye?
Yes, you may notice I only have one pupil.
Oh, yes.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it awkward. I'm so sorry.
It's actually quite a horrific story that happened to me in my youth, and I don't appreciate you bringing it up.
Oh, is that so? Do tell.
Gilda will crack what I believe to be our last 2 doors on this floor.
And yeah, so these you have these double doors that lead north. You crack those doors and you see quite a grand display. Several wide alcoves. You can see to the immediate east and west, a little bit farther down, again on the east side, and you can see one peeking around the far wall around a corner in this right angle hallway. There are alcoves that contain small dioramas, and each one, at a glance, seems to depict the same city facing different perils. A massive tsunami engulfing the one to your left. A massive fire devastating the city to your right. The one a bit farther down to the left appears to be suffering from the effects of an earthquake. And the far one, you feel like you can kind of see from this distance, is being enveloped by monsters. Each of the scenes depicts the city of Absalom specifically. Most of you would recognize. The stone dioramas are enhanced with minor illusions, flames flicker, water ripples, so on. And a tiny gauntlet in each of them, depicted miles away, sits on the edge of each scene. Lady Gilda, You rolled a natural 20 on your perception check. Each one of these is absolutely a trap waiting to react. Your options are thievery, to quickly run in and deactivate, or stealth to creep by. But you're quite sure that proximity is the danger, and there is not a lot of space in here.
Sounds like a job for Shad.
Shad?
Oh God, you're gonna get him killed. Just cannon fodder. Go.
I'm gonna need your expertise here. Each one of these alcoves appears to be a trap, and I can't quite explain how I know, but it appears to be a proximity alert. So, since we hired you for your specific expertise, I'm going to need you to interact with them if you can, and hopefully disarm them. I'll do my absolute best to protect you and aid you along the way, but I'm not as good as you might think. So we'll do thievery, and I will attempt my cooperative nature as an aid check for each one, and she'll move in stride with him.
Right. I trust that your instincts for magic have brought you to this conclusion. It seems proximity is our friend here, as you say. So, especially in these first two. I wonder if perhaps I should take the left or the right one first. What do you think?
The right one hasn't gone off with me standing here, so you move up to the left. I'll move in behind you and help aid you.
Right. I'll see what I can find as quickly as possible. And he steps forward, and Duncan, roll me his thievery.
Can I aid?
Oh, sorry, yeah, you can aid, sorry.
That is a natural 20 for a 25.
Fuck, 2 in a row.
What
the hell?
Hell yeah, dude.
So, with the +2 from the aid, that's a 22.
DC 20.
Hey.
So you nailed it without, but still clutch. He gets up there and he just quickly scans the diorama and spots a little switch and quickly deactivates it. Sadly, the one opposite activates from his proximity and line of sight here, line of effect, and this beam of fire shoots out from the opposite side to hit Shad for a 27.
Oh yeah, that
He
hits.
takes 21 fire damage, knocking him basically on his ass. He's like almost dead. It just singes him so hard, and then the fire dies down.
Chad, disable it quickly. I know you're injured.
He quickly runs over and starts searching for a similar switch.
Is Lady Gilda able to aid again?
No, I only got a 10 this time around.
Okay.
But she will lay on hands as he passes.
Okay.
He's gonna need it.
So you'll get 12 HP back, and you'll have a +2 status to your AC.
Oh, that's all right. Because that was a natural 1 on the thievery.
Ooh. Well, you get in there and Shad gets in there and starts to like finagle that, and he can't find the switch, but nothing happens in the diorama. It lays still after its attack. I can't seem to find it, but I don't know. It's not doing anything. Perhaps it's done its damage.
Can you roll knowledge?
Yeah, specifically in knowledge engineering to see how it was crafted.
Yeah.
Just to make sure it's not gonna like come back in a minute or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Engineering lore. Go for it.
That is a 15.
He can't say. Perhaps it's I don't know if this effect is mechanical or perhaps magical. There seems to be a combination here, as far as I can tell. Thank you, Gilda.
And I think Physic would like to. He's just around the corner, but having heard the obvious noises of somebody being scorched by a big belch of flame, he'd probably come running up and attempt to treat wounds.
Okay. Seem to be safe in this spot for now, but perhaps we should not linger. I say we best push forward.
We should look around and heal your wounds.
Yeah, you want to pop back to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, his strategy is opposite to yours, but he what's the it's a word. It's a word in my head. I can't think of it. Acquiesce, thank you. Fuck. He acquiesced.
I thought you were having a stroke for a second. Jesus Christ.
It's the
So did I.
age of acquiesce.
And he steps back out in the hallway.
As they're doing that, Gilda is keeping a very, very close eye on the diorama that hasn't gone off yet. waiting to see if she can see it recharge or if it does recharge.
The one that he deactivated?
No, the other one.
Oh, the other one here.
Yeah.
It has gone off. You said hadn't gone off.
Oh, right.
Okay, Tulok steps up and would like to attempt to disarm it.
Okay, he's going to do his own go. Okay.
22.
Thievery or stealth?
Thievery.
You find the switch and deactivate it. At least you're reasonably sure.
Nice. And then he just gazes at it while he waits for them to return.
Okay, and Physic got a 21 on his medicine check, so Shad will take 9 HP back, pretty much bringing him back up to full. We're not gonna lose you, Shad.
Physic, I choose you. And he steps in. Steps in with full
You
confidence.
son of a bitch.
He said, all right, should we press on, Lady Hilda?
I'm right behind you, Shad. And she will attempt to aid on the next one again, using her cooperative nature. That is a 21 to aid.
Nice. Okay. He pops in and attempts his thievery check. Get a +1 to that there, Dunk.
That's a 21, which I think we have well established. We'll do it.
Yep, does it. Down with the earthquake diorama. Quickly deactivated.
I hope the last one's just a box of all the original Star Wars action figures in their original packaging.
You get closer and you can see that the one to the north is very much, it's being flooded by various monsters, very aberrant looking, crazy creatures. And as you get to the north and you get around that corner of the bend, you can see there's yet one more diorama. And that one is being flooded by undead.
Oh, that seems familiar.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess it's time to start deactivating some more traps here.
Okay, so you head to the northernmost one with the monsters. Lady Gilda want to aid?
That's another 21. 2 17s in a row.
Oh, nice.
Nice. And that's another nat 1.
Oh.
Not so nice.
And this beam shoots out from the diorama with monsters floating all through it and deals 19 mental damage to Shad.
Oof.
And then goes quiet. I mean, I knew it was going to be dangerous, but I did not expect to go through this much so quickly. Oh, my head.
And Physic will once again run up and use his healer's gloves.
Okay. First use of the healer's gloves.
No, actually, that's a lie. I'd like to hold on to those. He's going to administer a minor healing potion.
I think Gilda's going to attempt the next one on her own, seeing Shad get messed up pretty hard.
How's your thievery?
It's not good, but at least if it goes off, she can handle it.
Right.
And that's kind of what she expects, is that this thing is going to go off. That is an 8.
Yeah, not going to do it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, that goes off. Another beam, this one filled with undead, strikes out at you for a 22 to hit.
22 is a meat to beat.
Oof. 23 negative damage.
22
saps the life force from
negative
you.
damage.
Damn.
And then they go quiet.
Tulok is going to make his own thievery check on the northernmost one for 22 again.
Deactivated.
Physic would like to do first, actually. Yeah, no, he's going to attempt the other one since his thievery is pretty good.
Wait, can I shield block that?
Yeah, it's negative damage. I don't think you can't do energy damage with shield block. I don't think. I was going to say yes, but that's the old tricksy part.
Tulok again will go to the final one.
Oh, Physic
said he's going to do it. Leave him
Oh,
alone.
my apologies. I thought he was healing. Sorry.
No, being a
He
sneaky
stands-
little boy.
And I'm the bully. He just shoves Physic aside.
Tulok stands beside Physic and watches him.
That's a 26.
Yeah, deactivated.
And Tulok gazes down at the city of Absalom and is just kind of wide-eyed and just looking at it because that's where he grew up. And just to see the sheer amount of hate that people had for the city, and that's where he spent his formative years, he's just looking down and kind of reflecting upon that and what life could have been like.
As Tulok looks down at this city and thinks about his formative years, those moments that brought him away from his home. He kind of looks over his shoulder and sees the damage that Shad has suffered. He thinks about what Shad said earlier before you set out. That trauma can prepare you for what comes next, what's in the future. And Tulok has a very specific memory come to mind. Get back here, freak! Around a corner skids a small, elvish-looking boy with sharp ears, glancing over his shoulder every few steps in a dead run. With his attention on what is behind him, he rounds into a neighborhood garden, catching his foot on the root of an old pear tree. Tumbling to the soft dirt ground, he falls, floundering to pull himself up to his feet again. And 3 taller youths come sprinting from behind the corner, looking every direction. And before the fallen boy can regain his footing, a barefoot comes down hard on his back. The wind escapes his lungs as his face hits the dirt. Well, well, pointy boy, didn't see that in your future today, did you? You're just a lying little freak. Another of his pursuers kicks him hard in the ribs, rolling him onto his back. Squinting up at his assailants, he pleads.
No more, please. Please, no more.
His face a mask of fear as his piercing blue eyes dart between the 3 boys towering over him. You never so much as warned me that my sister might die when her baby come, you little shit! As he stomps his foot down, the boy gives a strained groan as it lands square on his chest. You're a little liar. Or maybe you wanted her dead. Turning to his accomplices, his voice rises with rage. He says he can predict the future with his little bag of bones. Well, I think the little freak is full of it. And I think he wanted a soul for devil worship. The whole Delaries family is a bunch of devil worshippers! The others nod in grim agreement. The boy fills with fury and tries to swat the youths away, but they descend upon him like vultures, kicking and punching at every soft and tender spot they can find. He screams in pain, rolling over and turtling against the attacks, squeezing his eyes shut and his body tight against the beating. It seems to last a lifetime. Hey! Leave him alone, you gutter rats! The squeak of a voice, and suddenly the beating ceases. The boy lay unmoving, half from pain and half from crippling fear. Dread overcomes him as he recognizes the voice, however. His sister. Younger and much easier a target. As he turns over and opens his eyes, it's just in time to catch the bullies easily disarming her of the stick she was meekly brandishing. The biggest bully, the leader, the chief culprit, slaps the tiny girl with the back of his hand before she can raise her arms in defense. He then says through clenched teeth, I almost feel bad for you. You must have freak blood too. Gavi, help! The little girl squeaks, but the bully smacks her again. It can't help you. It can't help anyone. She lay still, face down on the ground, predicting what would happen next and torn by the wish to protect his sister. The boy tries to get to his feet again, but stumbles back down in pain. Brutal pain. Panic and fear turn to sheer hate in his mind, and he screams. His voice echoes up and out of his serene surroundings, and it fills his head with noise. The big bully descends upon him again, tugging at his legs as he tries to scramble away. He grasps at a nearby carved commemorative stone. For some reason, despite his desperation, he takes in the words carved upon it. May this tree mark the return of those unjustly spurned. Taking hold of it, the bully yanks at the boy's legs, and a piece of the ancient stone comes away and rolls from the boy's hands. Small rocks and pebbles become jagged knives dragged across his chest as the bully pulls him along. He reaches out helplessly towards the crumbled foundation. And then all of a sudden, the sounds of his own screams drowned out by a deep, murmuring voice in his head. And somehow, quite impossibly, he felt his hold on the piece of stone that fell away, as if his mind had formed an angry grip around its curves and edges. And trusting his instinct, he reeled around and threw the stone at his attacker. With a crack, blood was drawn from the bully's skull. The look of anger in his eyes is replaced by that of bewilderment as he drops the boy's legs and reaches to touch his wound, crumpling to his knees. The boy shoots his gaze towards another of his assailants, now standing still with stunned disbelief, and hurls another stone with his mind's fist. Slightly more aware after the first stone throw, the second is dodged by only a hair, and the bully's cohort scatters. The boy throws a third, and then a fourth, as if chasing them down without moving. Once they are out of sight, the boy falls back, his head resting against the dirt. The murmuring dulls in his mind and is replaced with a pounding headache, as one of his bright blue eyes glazes over and fades to white. He closes his bruised and battered eyelids and uncontrollably weeps. And Tulak comes back.
All right.
That was sad.
That was awesome, man.
Little Tulak backstory.
Little Tulak backstory.
I like it.
Tulak snaps back into the present, probably feeling his own trauma soak and shiver through his bones.
Yeah, he thinks how life was tough for him. It was hard, but watching these undead destroying the city, he thinks that these moments, as hard as they may have been, may never have been if these people had got their way. And how many other kids and people this will affect if they do get their way, as it's already happened in Otari.
And I think Physic's going to look around at some pretty deeply battered people, being Gilda and Shad, and think we should probably stick around for some healing.
Yeah, Gilda's like clutching her chest as that ray hit her like dead center, and is just kind of confused about why she feels a little bit weaker now. That she's not used to negative energy. So.
Oh yeah, did that hit you harder or?
No, it doesn't hit her harder, but I'm still sitting at less than half HP now.
It's a big hit. Yeah. I don't mind saying this is a portion of this adventure that has come up on Reddit a few times, because this hallway is a PC killer if you don't do it right. It's crazy. Yeah, the fact you rolled a natural 20 when you walked in was like the most important thing that could have happened. It's crazy.
Yeah. Good thing we sent Shad in.
Yeah, and I knew I had to take that last blast because it's not worth either Shad or you or Tulak taking that last blast. Like it made sense to her to just go up and fucking trigger it.
Yeah, the way they're written too is like they have like if you stand within 5 feet, but I was like, it's got to be at least around the corner, because like that means like as soon as you step in, they would fire technically, because they kind of have a line of sight. It's like, I've got to like give them some break here. It's crazy. It is a notorious PC killer, this hallway.
Well, we survived against all odds.
It took a big damage though. Holy shit.
Yeah,
I was really worried.
I'll need a treat wounds if you got one in you.
Absolutely. So physical turn first to Gilda.
I aid with a 24.
Okay, so that will make it a crit 25.
Excellent. That's exactly what I need.
Yeah, perfect.
For 10 HP back.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
A 1, 2, 3, and 4 is what you rolled.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
I think second move will be to use my healer's glove for the day.
Don't worry about it.
No.
It takes 10 minutes for you to treat wounds, so that will refresh her. She'll refocus during that time, and she'll give herself back 12 with the lay on hands.
Oh, okay.
And don't forget the Aeon Stone over those 10 minutes.
Yeah, which will put her back up to max.
Okay, perfect.
I just want to... What's Shad's health situation here? Because I think he's quite low. Has he been healed at all?
Yeah, he's quite low. Well, he already had that treat wounds outside the door there. I think at the very least, Physic will go over to him and apply, if not 1, then 2 minor elixirs of life.
Do you have them to spare?
Yeah, they're part of my infused reagents.
Because he could easily just sit out whatever's happening in this room.
Yeah, I'll give them to him anyways. Like, I've got a few, and if I don't use them by tomorrow morning, they're gone anyways, right? So
okay. I guess it is pretty late in the day already.
Big day.
Hey, you're coming up to about supper time now.
Okay. Gilda listens at the door.
You don't hear much of anything through these big old soggy doors.
And Shad will take 6 HP back, using both elixirs of life, which puts him at about half.
Gilda looks to Tulok to see if he's ready to open these doors, and then back to Physic and Shad, see how they're doing.
Tulok nods.
Physic nods as well, somewhat hopelessly.
Gilda still taking the defend action, opens the doors.
Oh, Physic will have drawn his crossbow again. It's still got the Thunderstone on it.
And as the doors are about to open, Tulok will cast Detect Magic.
Yeah, you detect magic pretty much all around you. It's coming definitely from behind you. It's coming from ahead of you.
True that, because it's probably still coming from the stupid things.
Yeah. You crack these doors to reveal a reasonably large room with a low ceiling and a cross-shaped table at its center. 10 chairs stand around the table. The walls and floors and ceilings of the chamber are completely covered with thick layers of webbing. And standing in the center of the table is a hulking, spider-like bipedal creature with massive claws, one massive single claw on each hand, and 8 eyes, wearing barely any, just like tattered clothes or cloth on its person. And it seems to be looking at something that's glowing on the table beneath the webbing that's covering it. It raises its head to look at you and speaks in a language I'm quite sure none of you speak. That's gonna be the theme for a bit, I'd say. And it's just like...
As soon as it begins to speak in a language that Tulok does not understand, he is going to cast Comprehend Language.
Sweet. I love it when you waste high-level spells. It's spoken, and you cast this, and you catch the tail end of its sentence in time. It just says, present your offerings. And present your offerings, is what you heard.
This is why we kept the fucking bloodstone.
And it just, it stands up as tall as it can, trying to loom over you on top of this table.
So Tulok turns to his companions and says, he wants us to present it with some sort of trophy.
This is exactly why we didn't sell the bloodstone. Perhaps that will do it.
All right, and yeah, Tulok takes out the bloodstone and holds it aloft.
And it gestures for you to place it on the table in front of him. He's at the center of the cross.
All right, Tulok approaches and places it at the head of the table.
Can I do a check to determine what type of flesh warp this is?
You've assumed it's a flesh warp, have you?
I have assumed that it's a flesh warp, yes.
You can roll me an occult check on this creature.
Not great.
Occultism.
That is a 4 total.
Not a clue.
Who doesn't have bad occultism is one plucky little goblin named Physic. Could I take a run at that?
Go for it.
That was a 26.
This is no flesh warp. It is a web lurker.
Ooh.
Also known as ettercaps. Ugly spider-like monsters.
Oh.
They dwell in lairs of spiders and swarms and actively cultivate and shepherd similar vermin. And he, or it, I should say, appears for a moment to you, Tulok, stunned that you actually gave it something. And then it bristles with maybe a sense of pride or authority, and then holds one arm out with its massive single claw and says to you, polish it, because I am the king of the ghost city.
Okay, Tulok will pull his, kind of the end of his cloak up and just begin to use it to polish the stone.
Shad's like, what What the hell is happening over there?
Yeah, Gilda and Physic are probably looking at him like he's fucking batshit at this point.
Yeah. Much bewilderment.
And you polish, you take your time
He
to
spits
polish
on it.
this single claw.
Oh, the claw? Oh, I thought you meant the stone. I thought
a
you wanted.
claw.
Oh.
No, the claw on his hand. Like, I'll show you the picture again. That Matt, he wants you to polish his finger, essentially.
Oh, this is a lot weirder than I thought.
Yeah.
I was wondering why you so eagerly did it.
Yeah.
You're like,
No,
"Oh, yeah, it's fine,
I
I'll
think
do
that. I don't know if he would do that. You know what? I think he's trying to, like.
You could quickly turn that into a grapple.
Yeah, he's trying to avoid a. Okay, so he begins to polish. And he's just waiting to see what's going to happen with this creature.
Okay. It seems to just like be soaking it in, and even when you go to stop at some point, thinking, "Oh, it's probably enough," continues to hold that hand out as if it's not enough. Do you like just kind of keep going for a little bit longer? We're talking like a couple minutes at most.
Yes, and he's just eyeing this thing up, also looking around the room to see if there's any other creatures in there.
Sure. Okay.
This is so weird.
He's getting more and more creeped out
Yes,
too. Like,
it
this
is.
is not something that he's super like. The thing is weird, like humanoid spider face guy. He's not into it.
And when you're finally done polishing that one claw, he presents you the second one. I am your king, and you are my servant.
Is he actually saying that?
Polish. He's saying it to you, yeah. He's speaking in the language Aklo. I don't know if you know that from comprehending languages, but I'm just going to throw that out there for listeners' sake. So he doesn't actually sound like this.
Okay, he is going to start doing that, and he's judging what he's going to do. He's just watching him.
Mm-hmm.
Does his demeanor change at all?
He seems to be like soaking it up even more. He seems to be really, really proud of the fact that you are being subservient. Like he's like there's like you get this sense of ego coming from him. From it.
And when he is finished or feels like the spider thing, web lurker is done, he will step back with a bow.
And it steps back and takes one of the long claws and slices away the web at the center of the table where you can see that glow beneath. As he does, you see this illusory example of Absalom. This one's not a diorama, it is pure illusion. But as he drags his claw across, he topples and destroys a whole bunch of the towers and buildings and all the bunch of the terrain, only for it to reform perfectly again shortly after. And he just gestures to it, says, "This is the ghost city. I am the king, and you are my servant."
And that's it?
That's it.
Yeah.
This situation is so fucked. I love it.
Tulok. Fuck, I don't really know what to do. Okay, stepping out of the character for a second.
Whoever can see the illusion now, I want you to roll me a society check.
Society is my shit. It's a 24.
Nice.
It becomes pretty clear to you pretty quickly, Gilda, that this illusory map of Absalom is as it appeared hundreds of years ago. It is not a modern Absalom. Whatever your studies on history and whatnot through your training, you could tell that there are certain buildings missing. Certain buildings you knew to have existed but were destroyed.
Wait a minute there. That illusion, it's not current. It's not up to date. If you look here, this citadel was destroyed in one of the conquerings of the 13th century. And that one over there was destroyed in the 10th century. They had me study all this in Andoran before I could even apply to become an Eagle Knight. The history of the capital cities of each one of the nations, their bastions, their strongholds. And this is an Absalom today. Even the port isn't as big as it currently is. You can see on the east side there how small the port is, and the shipping lanes on the south, they don't even exist on this map. This is ancient.
You go on this rant, and this creature, like, furrows its 8 brows across its eyes, and starts to look at Lady Gilda for the first time, and bristles with annoyance, as Tulok can tell.
I wonder how long this thing's been down here. Physic whispers very quietly to Shad.
And the creature looks at Tulok and points a claw at Gilda and says, "Keep that servant in check."
Tulok turns and says, "I don't know what to do here. He's not unfriendly now, but I believe he may become so. I wonder if there's anything we can gain from him. I cannot speak back. I feel powerless in this situation." Does Lady Gilda respond? Because now Tulok feels...
Tulok hasn't told us anything, really. So, I mean, her response is just confusion.
Because
Yeah, that's what you told us, is that you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't understand what the fuck it's saying, and she doesn't know that you understand what it's saying in this current situation.
Okay, so he says he thinks he's the master of this town, and that we are his servants.
She will give it a gentle, like a very, very shallow bow, and then take a 5-foot step back as if she had, like, stepped out of turn to try and appease this creature.
Okay.
As Gilda's bowing and taking the step back, she speaks as quietly as she can, hoping only Tulok can hear her. "We're kind of at your whim here, friend. We trust your lead. You let us know when you need our help." And then that's when she takes the 5-foot step back, looking at the ground so the other cap can't see her mouth move or anything.
Jesus Christ.
Walking on eggshells here, buddy.
Yeah, well, because, like, I originally was just going to attack it, but now I feel like Lady Gilda's going to get all, pissed off if I'm attacking something that's not attacking us.
No, I just don't see the value in it currently.
Send among the ranks.
She won't be upset, but like I, James, as a player, don't see the value in attacking this creature. It's giving us more information alive than it possibly could. We've established that, like,
It's true.
I mean, I'm taking it that Gilda would know, using her lore heraldry, using her history as a military aficionado, that this is a planning room. This is where whoever used to own this place sat and planned any possible attacks, and those dioramas are options that they had put forward that either could work or didn't work. But this is a planning room. This is a strategy room. This is that. So we now know that because of this creature. She's willing to attack to defend, but at this point, this creature's giving us a lot of information, whether or not it knows it.
So Tulok will walk further into the room and, just trying to be nonchalant, start searching.
The word I was looking for is war room.
Yeah.
So nonchalantly walking and searching.
Okay, and you pop around the south, and this creature repositions itself to keep an eye on everyone in the hallway as well as you. And as soon as you get out of that possible eye line of both, it hisses. "Move back, servant." And it steps back into the center, on top of the illusory map, just toppling buildings as they reform.
And sorry, were the traps, the dioramas, the same, hundreds of year old Absalom as the illusory one?
Yeah. As far as you can tell. As soon as Lady Gilda points at a certain tower, you look over for it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's
so
missing.
We know
here
this is
too.
an old Absalom, and we know that there was 10 of them who were important enough to be here. Like, that's a lot of information from one room.
Tulok continues to walk around the table, and he is preparing in his mind to cast invisibility on himself if the creature attacks.
Okay, as you stepped to the exact southern point of the cross table, this is when it's hissed at you and told you to stop. And then you step one more square forward to the east, and I need to know if a 24 hits your AC.
Yes.
Because you are strung up immediately by a web lurker noose. As it rips around, it's triggered by your foot and then suddenly rips around your neck somehow. And you take 12 bludgeoning damage.
Damn.
And we're going to roll for initiative.
Oh, the old classic web lurker noose. There's blast from the past.
Got Aelin too.
Yep. Let's get some initiative going. Can I please have physics?
Ooh, nat 20 for a 26 from physic.
Oh, okay. Much better than last time around, if I recall. Tulak, what do you got?
Okay, so I did say that I was preparing my invisibility spell.
Okay.
Do I get to cast that before combat or no?
You said preparing, so
No problemo. Ooh, natural 20 for 25.
Oh boy. Okay. Want to roll it for Shad for me there, Duncan?
Shad has a 14.
14.
Less enthusiastic after taking that whooping, I guess.
And Lady Gilda.
Continues the tradition of rolling poor for initiative with an 11.
Amazing. Tulak, you are grabbed in this noose, making you flat-footed and immobilized. And it will take an escape check to try and release yourself. Otherwise, you will take bludgeoning damage at the end of each of your turns. So you're not like, you can still cast your spells and you can still do stuff, but you will risk taking damage at the end of your turn if you don't find a way to escape.
Okay.
And top of the order is Physic.
Well, better start blasting. So he, as I mentioned earlier, he was still holding his alchemical crossbow with the thunderstone on it.
Mm-hmm.
So blast the first is a 20.
20 at the web lurker. That's a hit.
Beauty. So it'll be 5 piercing damage.
Okay.
And 1 sonic damage.
Ooh, sweet one. Okay.
Second action reload. Third action blasting.
Firing again.
Oh, for a 5 to hit.
Ooh, no dice.
Well, there was 1 die and it didn't go well.
Okay. Hey, you hit. That's a lot for Physic.
The bar is low.
Tulak, what do you got?
Tulak has the wand of magic missile in his hands. He takes this and puts it to the noose above his neck and will release 1 magic missile into the webbing.
Nice.
Oh, shit. Okay. Roll me your damage.
5.
Okay. It's still holding you.
Okay, and he will cast it again for 3.
Still holding you.
Son of a bitch. And the last one for another 5.
Releases you.
Perfect.
Wow.
And he lands with his fist on the ground in the hero pose.
Tulak, the Scarlet Spider Sage over here.
And somehow the stone shatters in a circular, perfectly symmetrical circle, and kills the stones go flying up and kill the web broker.
Yep. Okay. Cannon.
Cool. End combat. Sweet. First of all, before I forget, I would like to give a hero point to Lady Gilda for calling the war room and all the dioramas being exactly that.
Interesting.
Options for taking down Absalom.
Love it. I'll take it.
And I'm absolutely giving a hero point for Tulak for using Magic Missile on the fucking web trap. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
that
cool.
whole roleplay was fucking choice there, Scott.
Yeah. That was awesome.
I was just flying by the seat of my pants because I had no idea what the fuck to do.
Loved every minute
so
of
I
it.
certainly didn't expect you to walk into that trap, so that was really cool.
Honestly,
and you rolled
though,
pretty shit on your perceptions.
I was looking at the artwork and it has webs, it looks like, as clothing. And when you said that it was taking its claw to cut the webbing, I was just like, what webbing is he talking about?
Okay, and so it's the web lurker's turn. And what will it do? I mean, it's pissed off at you, Tulak. I'm sorry. It's going to come at you. You're a bad servant. It strides over to you and is going to swing at you with its claw. Oh, God, it's a big hit. It's a real big hit for a 28.
Okay, that is a hit, but not a crit.
Oh, okay. I was worried there. 14 slashing damage.
Copy that.
And it turns its head after it slashes you and fires a web at Lady Gilda for a 13.
Yeah, that's a big no.
Actually, it'd be even less. Sorry, it should be an 8. And that's going to bring us to sweet little hidden enemy.
I bet it's a spider.
Who is going to move around the room, unbeknownst to anybody. Shad's up.
Oh, Shad. What a day you're having, buddy. What's his speed?
Oh, rough day.
Does he, does anybody know that there's this hidden enemy moving around? Like, did we hear it? Anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Unbeknownst, I think the word was.
I rolled to see.
Okay.
No one knows.
I just wanted to confirm.
He's going to stride his way into the room. I imagine it's difficult terrain to get under that table.
It would be like a leap action to hop up, essentially.
Okay.
Pretty low DC. But as soon as he steps in the room, a spider descends on him, having a readied action.
Oh,
For a 19 to hit.
meet the beat.
And he takes 1 piercing damage. And I need a fortitude save.
I mean, 1 damage is just a walk in the park for him right now. He barely feels it. Well, he feels it because he's almost dead, but...
Is anyone arachnophobic? Because here's the picture.
Ooh.
Creepy spider. Spiders are so cool.
So you said a fortitude save?
Spider bro.
Fortitude, please, yeah.
14.
Oh, I'm afraid that's a failure. He is going to be stupefied for 1 round.
Sweet. Does his turn
Which
continue? Or?
effect? It's more of your mental capacity stuff. So your wisdom, intelligence, charisma for stupefied. So for now, he's all right.
Okay, so no charm on the spiders.
And you can continue your turn.
Okay, well,
His turn.
I suppose he would just start swinging a rapier at the spider next to him.
Okay, it's lunged at. Attack.
19 to hit.
That hits. Yeah.
For 5 piercing damage.
Okay, 5 piercing.
And another swing with the rapier. 13 to hit.
Miss.
Gross.
Okay, that's Shad.
That's Mr. Shad.
All right, Lady Gilda.
So I wasn't quite paying as much attention as I should be. Is it an action to get on this table or no?
So it's essentially a leap, which is your athletics check, and so leap is the basis of long and high jumps, and you can use it as part of your movement. So you're technically looking at like maybe a high jump, but you could do it as part of your stride. But a high jump specifically is 2 actions, where a leap is 1.
Okay, but I can leap 5 foot horizontally or 3 feet vertically.
Taking a look here, because I want to double check if leap is part of a movement, and I don't think it is. It's like a standing action.
Okay.
Whereas high jump and long jump are move actions, but they cost twice the economy, so they kind of balance it out that way.
She will stride her full complement into the room. So she's standing right next to Tulok. Her first action will be to try and shove this spider.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's a 26 to push it back.
And is that versus its fortitude DC?
Yes, it is.
I guess. Yeah. Okay, yes, that's a success.
Okay, so it moves 5 foot back, and I can stride after it, so I will stride after it the same distance. And then my last action will...
That's if you critically succeed.
No.
Stride after.
I sent it to you in the chat.
Oh,
Success.
no,
you push your opponent 5 feet. You can
Yeah.
stride after it, moving the same distance in the same direction.
Yeah.
And with her third action, she will then raise a shield.
Okay. Shoved shield.
Yeah, she's essentially
Physic,
just trying to get
yeah.
Tulok out of melee combat with this thing with these giant fucking claws.
They are massive. The half, 3/4 the length of its own body. This single claws in each hand. It's crazy.
Quick point of order. Has it been less than 10 minutes since we basically opened this door to talk to this thing? Probably yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so because right before we came through here, I gave Shad an elixir of life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if these stack, but I did forget that they gain a +1 item bonus to saving throws against diseases and poisons for 10 minutes.
Oh.
So I gave him 2, and he rolled a 14 on the save.
The same type of
And it
bonus
would have
doesn't
been
stack. It
up-
would have been a 15.
No, just the 1. Okay, so it would have been 15 instead of 14.
Yeah, still failed.
Okay.
Close though.
Just hoping against hope. You know how it
Yeah.
goes.
No, good call.
Physic is going to stride 25 feet to be next to Tulok, having seen him take those 2 nasty hits, and he will draw and apply a lesser healing potion.
Tulok. Okay.
Actually, scratch that. He will use his healing gloves for the day.
Smart.
So that will be 2d6 plus 7 hit points for 14 HP back.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then third action, he will reload his crossbow.
Right. Tulok, you just been healed.
Yeah.
How brave you feeling?
Tulok is not feeling brave at all. He's grabbing at his wounds in his chest from being attacked by this thing, and his neck is in pain, and he's just kind of stumbling there after being healed, and he just starts to hear a murmuring inside of his mind. His only remaining pupil fades to white, and he just hears Dachromana in his head, and then he realizes that it's coming out of his mouth, and he summons a creature behind the web lurker, and it is a Festrog. So this zombie-looking, disgusting creature with pustules on it comes rising out of the ground behind it, and he just says, "Attack!"
Oh, that's awesome.
Holy fuck.
Oh, amazing! Do you guys see that? I just dragged it onto the map.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you have
let me just show you the artwork and what Tulok just summoned.
Oh, that is horrifying.
That's so much worse than the spider monster.
It really is. Okay.
For the audio
can you
listeners,
walk us
it is
through
it is like a cross between a ghoul and a skeleton covered in pustules and boils. It's got its mouth wide open like Arnold Vosloo in The Mummy, and it just looks like it's gonna mess shit up.
I love to imagine like somehow this thing crawled out from under the table and ripped through the web as if it had been there the whole time. And do you want to walk us through how this works? What have you just done there, Scoot?
Okay,
Scooty
so
Booby Boo?
basically I use Animate Dead, and it is heightened now to be able to bring up level 1 undead creatures. And so it's, if I sustain it, it lasts up to 1 minute, and it is filled with necromantic life, and I can force the dead to fight at my command. So yeah, it has the undead and summon trait, so I do have to continue sustaining it each turn. But yeah, it is, I believe, its turn to attack immediately after my turn.
Yes. So it has the summoned and minion traits. And so essentially, he has to, in order to keep it up, he has to spend 1 action every round for the next minute or whatever it is, in order for it to stay. Otherwise,
Doesn't he also have to use an action to give it 2 actions because it has the minion trait?
That same action will give it its 2 actions.
Okay.
Yeah. That same 1
That's
action
awesome.
for sustaining. Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. So he's effectively between the two has 4 actions. So yeah, I'm so pumped for this. I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, I know. I just never had the right time, but the time is now.
So it's 3 actions to cast it, but that also gives it its 2 actions. So what do you got? What do you want?
Yeah, so it is gonna strike out with its claw first, and that is going to be an 18 to hit.
That is a miss, I'm afraid.
All right, so it's going to attack with the jaws for the second attack, and that is going to be a natty 20 for 24, baby.
Nice.
No. You're gonna swipe and then crit right away?
And that is a 12 points of damage.
Okay. 12 damage. Holy shit. Okay. Cool. That's your turn?
Yes. Now, next time I need to read that better because I should have attacked with the jaws first and feasted on it.
No. Oh, I can't wait to hear more about the Festrog. Damn. Let's see here. Okay, it is the web lurker's turn. And Tulok, you could hear it yelling like, "I am the king of the ghost city. I am Mimnavix. How dare you? How dare you?" And is going to attack with its fangs against Lady Gilda to start. 19 to hit.
No, sir.
More like Mim never backs.
You're becoming problematic to hit.
Wait till next level, bud. Wait till next level. Next level, you're going to be real mad at me.
Son of a bitch. And we'll let's see here. What the hell can I do? And then it's gonna swing a claw at you as well and miss. And then it is going to I'm so glad you asked about leap, because I want to play this by the. It's gonna hop up onto the table right here.
Okay.
And next up is the spider that attacked Shad. The spider will attack Shad again with its fangs for a terrible 9 to hit, natural 2.
That's not going to do it. No.
That's not going to do it.
No.
And it's going to start to travel along the webs in here and make its way over to, well, the rest of the party, getting right up next to Tulak Physic and Lady Gilda, and attempt to attack. Who do I want to attack here? Let me roll for it, shall I?
Okay.
It's going to be Tulak.
Okay.
12 to hit.
That is a miss.
Bad news bears. This spider is not doing it. Shad. What's Shad going to do? Oh, sorry. Shad, roll me another fortitude as you are poisoned.
Oh, no.
And it's still seeping through your veins.
Oof, how's an 11? Probably not going to do it. Well, 12.
Not good. Remains to be stupefied and takes 3 poison damage.
Not loving that, but he's still standing.
That's 1 round of 4 that this poison will last. Just try to keep me honest on that if I forget. What's Shad gonna do?
Shad is going to follow the spider, take a stride down. So where the spider's on the table with Lady Gilda and himself on either side, does that make it flanked?
Yes, because it's sort of it's focused on staying on the webs and stuff, so it's still like arm's reach for both of you, so
You want to take that again there,
it's not like
Freeman?
high above you.
Yeah, no, yes.
That's a pretty Canadian phrase.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't. No, yeah.
Not my edit. Don't care.
Oh, I got no problem making him sound like a dickhead. That's fine.
I got no problem making myself sound like a dickhead, so it's a win-win.
Okay, well, luckily he has more than an arm's reach to deal with here because he has an arm with a rapier at the end of it. So against that spider's 8 flat feet, that's a 19 to hit.
Ooh, sticking with the pointy end.
That's gonna hit.
Or 8 piercing damage.
Piercing and...
Oh, deadly D8?
No, the sneak attack 1d6.
Sneak attack 1d6, that's what I meant.
A precision damage.
I'm gonna make myself not look like a dick. Oh, the 1d6, yeah. Max damage for 6.
Oh my god, 6! You kill it. You skewer the spider.
And Shad just kind of probably slumps his shoulders a little bit.
Yeah. The spider just curls up with its spindly legs, like shuddering and... Ugh, spiders are weird and I love them. Cool. Anything else from Shad?
No. That would be it.
That's it. Okay. Lady Gilda.
I know you said this map is weird, but do I need to step forward to strike this creature?
No.
Okay. First action will be a trip. That is a 23 to trip.
Oh my god, is that my reflex?
Yep.
That's a success!
You fall prone.
Oh no. Steps up on the table and just gets knocked down. Boom! Onto the top of the table. It's like out of a fucking Jet Li movie. I love it.
Sweep the legs, motherfucker. You gotta sweep the legs.
And when the legs are at practically eye level, it's a lot easier.
Yep. Second action will be a strike with the hand wraps. That is a 21 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
Flat-footed. Is it a crit?
It's not.
Okay. That is 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And with her third action, she's going to attempt another hit, which is something I don't often do. So that'll be 3 strikes. So that's map minus 8 for a total of 4.
Whew.
Bit of a flail on the last one.
That's why I don't normally do it.
Yeah, it usually becomes quickly obvious why it's not recommended.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, though, you get a natural 20 on it. It's great. Physic.
Okie dokie. He's got one shot left with his Thunderstone, so he's going to take that with the crossbow. I assume that would be through minor cover with Lady Gilda right in front of me.
No, you're good. She's not directly in front of you. There's a bit of an angle there, so I think you're all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
17 to hit.
That is that's a meat to beat while he's prone.
You stupid spider thing. So that'll be 3 piercing damage.
Okay.
And 3 sonic damage.
And 3 sonic, okay. Not too bad.
One thing I was a little bit unclear on, which maybe we've gone over, crossbow being 2 hands to wield and fire, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it 2 hands to hold as well? Like, would I be able to manipulate something else with one hand when I'm not using the crossbow?
Yeah, because it's not. I guess it depends on what you're thinking of, but generally, I would say it's fine.
I want to draw and administer a mutagen to Lady Gilda.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So here's why I think that's fine. There are some kind of weird, gnarly rules in what it takes to like take a hand off a 2-handed weapon, and honestly, like I've read it. I was reading it the other day, and it's a lot. It takes like 2 actions to do it or something. It's something really dumb. And
really?
To me, that's the assumption that's a big, heavy, massive weapon. But I know that there is a ruling that if you only need a spare hand to use your healer's tools to patch someone up. So
Right.
like, why the hell would you not be able to have just a single hand, pull it off the crossbow real quick, and quickly administer? I see no problem with that at all.
I mean, you'd need to take the hand off to reload a bolt in it anyways.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Okay, well, time to whip out the old Drakeheart mutagen, because smoke him if you got him. And Lady Gilda's the most likely of us to get hit.
Okay.
So, if we will recall, you gain a +5 item bonus to AC, a dexterity cap of +2 as usual, and a +2 item bonus to perception checks. The drawback is you take a -1 penalty to will saves, reflex saves, and all skill checks to recall knowledge for 10 minutes.
Did you say a +5 to AC?
Yeah.
Okay, can you put that in the
10
chat so I can
minutes?
put that on my character?
Jesus.
That only gave me a +1 to AC.
Oh, because you have a dex cap. It's got a dex cap of +2.
I only have +1 dex.
Right. So it's capping you at a +2. So it says specifically, you gain 5 item bonus to AC, a dexterity cap of +2. As usual, use your lowest dex cap if you have more than 1. So you have 1. It's trying to give you 5 more, but it's capped. It's because you have a cap. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, and
It's your lowest
I didn't
dex cap.
mention you've got the final surge action, so you can stride twice in one action, and it will end the effects of the mutagen.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You know, not that you're a running away type,
Not with her bum leg.
and that's the turn.
I'm just so glad there's a cap. There's such a cap on that.
Yeah, right.
Just giving Lady Gilda +5 is insane.
25 AC, 27
Yeah.
with the shield up.
Yeah. But like, if you would have gave that to Tulok, you'd have a
Yeah,
fucking
what's-
24 AC. It's ridiculous.
I got another one, so you know,
Oh my god. That's insane.
and 6 infused reagents to start my day every day gives you quite an arsenal.
I bet. All right, that's your turn?
Yep, that's the turn.
Tulok.
All right, Tulok will sustain the spell.
Yeah.
And as the Festrog's last action was to hit a living creature with his jaws, it will feast. So its massive, gross mouth with sharp teeth just starts feasting on the prone body of this creature for 1d4 slashing damage. That's 2 damage. And then with its next turn, it will attempt to bite it again. And that is 15 to hit. So it misses.
Misses. But you missed the fact that it gains 2 temporary HP as well from that.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, from that feast.
And then Tulok, to round out the turn, will use a telekinetic projectile, bringing a stone down on the prone creature
Classic.
for a 28 to hit.
Well,
Baby.
that's a crit.
Nice, bud.
And that is 24 damage.
Jesus.
Describe your kill.
Yeah, the Festrog is just eating it, and then it's squirming away, and it misses with the jaw attack, and then he just reaches up to the sky and brings a stone down on the top of its head.
Unhand your king! Unhand your king!
Yeah. and its nasty spider face explodes.
Oh my god. And you kill Weblooker and its little spider companion. And that's what we're gonna call it. Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.